But congratulations to Scottie Scheffler winning the Open today, 17 under par overall. Really took over after, the second day? He kind of just got in cruise control, and you didn't expect anyone else to win it going into the final round today. Scottie Scheffler, world number one. Mm-hmm. It seems like it's a perfect life, right? You're world number one. Mm-hmm. You're a dad. You've got a family.
Love it.
You win, but it's not about winning all the time, Kerry.
Uh-huh.
Earlier this week, Scottie Scheffler had some things to say as he prepared for the Open Championship. And let's hear what he had to say.
It feels like you work your whole life to celebrate winning a tournament for like a few minutes. It only lasts a few minutes, that kind of euphoric feeling. Like to win the Byron Nelson Championship at home, I literally worked my entire life to become good at golf, to have an opportunity to win that tournament. And you win it, you celebrate, get to hug my family, my sister's there. It's such an amazing moment. And then it's like, okay, now what are we going to eat for dinner? Life goes on. Is it great to be able to win tournaments and to accomplish the things I have in the game of golf? Yeah. I mean, it brings tears to my eyes just to think about, because it's literally worked my entire life to become good at this sport, and to have that kind of sense of accomplishment, I think is a pretty cool feeling. To get to live out your dreams is very special. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm not out here to inspire the next generation of golfers. I'm not here to inspire somebody else to be the best player in the world, because what's the point? This is not a fulfilling life. It's fulfilling from the sense of accomplishment, but it's not fulfilling from a sense of like the deepest places of your heart.
So much is said by world number one golfer, Scottie Scheffler. And I want to get your perspective, obviously, because you have played at the highest of the high when it comes to being an athlete. Yeah. And I think what he said was incredibly brave, because for him to say that, most people are going to be like, what are you talking about? You have a wonderful life. Yeah. You have money. You are this, you are that. But I don't understand what it's like to be number one in anything like that. But I will tell you, I sit here and I sometimes think about, like, I love my job and I love hanging out with you and getting to talk sports. Like, I mean, you guys, we have great jobs. Like, I'm not denying that. Yeah. But I do think about, like, what I want to do, Kerry, is win the lottery so I can quit and open an animal shelter and take care of dogs and cats or ferret, whatever you want to bring me. Yeah. Like, that is what I think would fulfill my life.
Right.
But I can't do that because I don't have that money. Right. And in order to do anything like that, you got to have money, right? So I keep working, and hopefully one day I'll have the MONSE BOLANOS animal shelter. Yes. Hopefully. That's the goal. But I really understand what he is saying. Mm-hmm. I just think it's brave for him to say it out loud right now.
I think it's the best thing that we've heard in a long time. I do. Struggling with enjoying winning, I understand completely. We live in a world, and in the sports world, where it's solely based off what have you done for me lately. Mm-hmm. And so the instant gratification that comes, he said it, when you win, there is a high.
Of course.
But society says, and your teammates say, and your organization says, we're on to the next week. And the next week is preparing for the next tournament, the next game, the next whatever it is. So I can understand where he's coming from with that being cut short. And I think as athletes, we have that sense of we have to win at all costs in that tournament, in that game. And I think that's ingrained. I think that's ingrained in him. Obviously, he's the best in the world. So in that tournament, we're doing everything we can to win. And then you have to rinse and repeat and do that again. And so it becomes tiresome. It becomes to the point where it becomes heavy. And not to say that shouldn't come with the person that's playing sports. It should. That's what you're signed up for. Mm-hmm. But the fact that somebody's able to speak about that and articulate it in the way that, he didn't rush through it. He said all the things he wanted to say. So you can't take anything he said out of context. So I appreciated that part of it as well. And also the media as well for allowing him that space to fully flush out that answer. It was a great soundbite. The atmosphere around sports is all about winning at all costs, which I said. But when you make individual decisions based off solely winning in sports and in life, the two aren't the same. Mm. It's not concurrent events that happens that kind of you can live solely based off this. If you're in life trying to win at all cost, I don't want to be around that person. Mm-hmm. That person would do anything it takes to get ahead, whatever it takes to be the guy or the woman that's leading the charge, which I don't agree with, and I'm sure he doesn't as well. He has a family, he has a life, he has other things outside of sports that you can be fulfilled at outside of it. And so as far as that quote goes, I love it. I think it's a great example. And you don't have to lead by saying things.
Mm-hmm.
You can lead by the way you live your life and lead your life and the way you set the example, not even trying to. And that's the beautiful thing.
I like that you said it's the best soundbite we've heard in a while, right? Because it was real. It was honest. And it came from a person who you probably would say, even though you feel like that, you shouldn't be saying that. Mm-hmm. You know he was criticized for that by a lot of people.
I've seen it. Yes.
Right? Yeah. Scoffing. You're not fulfilled. But in reality, he's being so honest because it is lonely at the top. Shay, would you like to jump in? Do you feel lonely at the top?
I wasn't necessarily going to say that, but I wanted to more ask from your perspective, because obviously you didn't always think about that, right? You didn't always think hey, I'm not going to feel fulfilled from this, or this isn't going to be something that will make me feel happy in the end, or this isn't something that this is it. Because obviously as a high schooler, you're the minute I get into the NFL and I get that bag, I get the hot girls or whatever, whatever you wanted, you'll feel fulfilled. So it's when did that moment hit you, as an athlete at least, to where because I always wonder with Scottie, when did this happen? Was it his first major where he was I don't even care about this. You know what I mean? Because it almost sounds like he's saying that. And I want to see if there's a moment as an athlete where you're what?
Can I follow up with that to join with that? I was do you think it's different for him? We're all Kerry, tell us. Do you think it's different for him because he's playing a solo sport?
Exactly.
100%.
Great point, Mom.
It is a great point.
Right? Because it's you can have those moments with your teammates. Be remember when we did that game? Yeah. And so he's you guys remember when I did this? When I won? It can come off a little bit, You
guys are right. I mean, Monse, that's a great point. Great question, Shay. There is a moment, right? But so hard in team sports to have that individual ideology, right? Because if you do, then you're not moving the same way as a team, a group, which is hard to do. As a golfer, being a solo sport, it is I. You have people you work with. Obviously, you have coaches. You have teammates. Sometimes
he's got a caddy,
but
all
that. But it's you doing that deal, right?
It's all you.
So it's lonely. But there is a time, even when I was playing, I could. Yes, you've achieved things. I've achieved things. I've had status. I've had money. All those things that are goals as a kid, right? You want to do those things. But when you realize that stuff it's not feeding your soul. Whatever feeds your soul, you lean into that. And I think Scottie's doing a good job of that, actually saying, I got other things that feed me.
Mm-hmm. I understand what Shay is saying, too, because it's when did he realize this?
Yeah.
Or is he realizing this right now, in real time?
Right.
Chris?
Yeah, it's funny because we were talking about this before because it reminded me immediately, and I know he hasn't said it quite like this, but of Nikola Jokic. Kind of the same thing where he's I just want to go, hang out with my horses.
Yep.
I think you're onto something, Monse, in that there is now in this generation more than ever a dividing line between what you are good at and makes you money versus what you really feel is driving you day to day. Because there's a lot of people where that's just not the case anymore. You have a goal, you have a dream or something, or maybe you don't. Maybe it's just the whole rat race just isn't for you. But I know he's going to get slaughtered for this quote because in specifically in our business, in sports media, there is only one archetype, and that is the Michael Jordan archetype. You have to be the alpha, the
Kobe
killer,
Bryant.
the guy who wants to win at all costs. And Scottie's out here doing the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And guys, wait a minute. So listen to this, though. So we've seen individuals make decisions based off of, I want to win, and you end up being Kevin Durant, right? Mm-hmm. You end up being somebody that they talk about chasing these things that we're talking about, winning and championships, and that defines your legacy. But now you're allowing people to write that for you. Mm-hmm. When you say stuff like this and you're in the forefront and have this opinion or this, it's not even an opinion, having this fact or thought that comes from you, the source, then people are going to run with it anyway, but at least you're able to live with yourself and know that the decisions you make are based solely off how you feel and no one else. And I
just
love
think his quote resonates with more people than I think people in the media will give him credit for.
Yeah.
I agree. I think he opened a door for people who are successful to feel free to say that, to actually not be afraid, because he's probably being dragged as we speak by people, especially after winning the Open Championship today, where it's like, what are you talking about? And maybe this is something he's realizing in live time right now, where it's like, this is not as fulfilling as I thought as it would be as a child. And I just give him credit for saying it out loud. I agree, Nikola Jokic, a very similar type of response when he tells you he just wants to go be with his horses, but he didn't straight up say, this is not fulfilling me. He didn't say it like that.
That way.
But
right?
you could feel it, yeah.
You could feel it. And like, I was just surprised to hear somebody of his level to say it out loud like that.
And he's going to allow for other people to speak that.
That's what I'm saying. He's opened the door.
Because other people feel that way.
Exactly.
And so the fact that the guy that's number one in the world can say that and still go out and win, that's a big deal.
I wanted to go back to, because individual sports and then team sports, obviously individual sports you'll feel a little bit more fulfilled than team sports, because I don't know, like last night, are you guys UFC fans? So last night, Dustin Poirier, he's been in the UFC since 2009.
Yes.
He retired last night. And you can see basically the highlight video, everything. They're doing the whole thing for him, the goodbyes, the cries. He fought and everything. And it's an individual sport. All you got is your coach and your the ice guy, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's really lonely.
Yeah, and I could see that he seemed fulfilled. Like he had the smile on his face.
Totally.
Like he was like, "Oh my god!" Like this is so. When it seems like when I compare it to UFC and golf, like obviously they're completely different. One's you're fighting someone, another one you're hitting a little ball with a stick. But like in terms of the individuality, it's just you. The fulfillment of I beat that guy. I won that hole. I won that Masters. It was me and my coaches. Like I did that.
Yeah.
That's what makes me a little weird. Because I understand when you say I don't feel as fulfilled, because it's a team effort. There's a lot more things. Like obviously there isn't that many individual awards or anything. But when you have this individuality, I feel like you should be able to say, I did this.
He is saying that. That's not, he is doing
but it's
that.
not. But it's more of like I don't feel fulfilled from it. But that doesn't make sense.
Dude, because
it's climbing the mountain alone and suddenly realizing you're at the vista.
That
and
it just didn't matter.
It's
fine. Just did not feel the way maybe he thought it was gonna feel.
Yeah,
and I think it's going. I think it's a little bit out. I think it's a little bit out of context too. He is fulfilled by winning.
He is fulfilled. Correct.
He's not. It doesn't linger or go on past that moment.
As he said, got to prepare dinner. It's
Okay.
There was a story I read kind of like this,
yes.
where it's just like, you go through all these tragic things in your day, kind of in the opposite way. It's like you've got all these things that happen to you in a tragic day, but it's like, you got to keep. It's the same thing from the other side.
Keep your head up. You got to move on forward.
It's not even keeping your head up. It's like I still got to go make dinner. It's that line. It's that line. It doesn't matter what you've accomplished. You still have all these normal things that are right in front of you instead.
It's just crazy.
Kind of breaks my dreams.
No, I
always wanted to be an athlete, so it's like, damn.
And also, if you are an athlete out there and you are fulfilled, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, absolutely nothing wrong.
Be as fulfilled as you can. I think Scottie Scheffler is just like, it's not what I thought it would be. And a breath of fresh air, like you said.
Really quickly before we get out of here. Shay, if you were to fulfill what you wanted to fulfill right now, whatever that thing is,
100%.
Do you think you're going to like linger on that forever and that one achievement, or is there something else you want to achieve?
Yeah. So obviously you're not going to want to do the same thing over and over again. And once you're in it, you're like, oh, I have more goals in life, and there's more things. Because like obviously we're
it's
all
not as cracked out as you think it to be.
yeah. Like we're all workers. We all want more in life, and like we're not content in anything we do. Like we want a weekday show. Yeah, like we want to do all this stuff. So it's like obviously but. It seems like when you're that young kid and you're like, oh, this is like all I can think about, and you finally get it. I feel like that should fulfill you in terms of like, I did this in my life. And like when you're 80 years old and I'm talking to my grandkids, I'd be like, oh, like.
I just think this is more than sports. Like I know some guys who are extremely successful in their business. In like, I've got friends in Texas who sell golf clubs or have great landscaping businesses or whatever. But like, at the end of the day, you're like, I just want to go crack open a beer and watch the sunset or like hang out with the boys or something. This isn't doing anything for me. And I think Scheffler's kind of speaking to something. Now it's galling because it is sports at its highest level, but it's still the same vein there.
Last thoughts, Kerry, before we wrap this up?
I think the last thought is be whoever you want to be.
Yeah.
Like if you feel fulfilled and that's your peak and you want to linger on that peak, do it. But also don't chastise somebody that feels differently. And I think that would be my number one thing.
just go be fulfilled.
Go
whatever
be fulfilled.
whatever fulfills you, and it just might not be what you thought.